Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome.
欢迎大家啊，首先表示欢迎啊。
So, you want me to say a few sentences and then stop and then you'll translate, or same time?
No, same time.
Yeah, that's difficult then. You can sit here.
坐边上一点啊，不要他挡住他那个角度。
Someone can sit here also. So this is everyone's first time to India, mostly.
你们是不是第一次来印度？
Yes.
How you like it so far?
觉得怎么样啊？这几天 ？OK。
Okay, interesting.
是不是很有趣啊？
Interesting. I'm from USA,
我是美国来的，
but I've been living here for almost 20
但
years,
是在这里居住了20年了，
since I was a little boy.
因为很小的时候就来了。
I first came when I was 9.
9岁第一次来印度，
Now I'm
父母带来，
now I'm like 33.
现在33岁了。
So today I'll tell you something about our spiritual tradition
所以呢，今天我们讲一下我们这个灵性的传统就是灵性的这个传
the
承，
teachings of our sages.
就是我们过往这些古圣们他们的教导。
So I'll teach you something about what our gurus have taught us about the nature of the soul
那么呢，讲一下我们灵魂的本性是这样子，
and the nature of our relationship with God.
以及我们跟神就是说至尊者的关系。
So they teach us that within our body we have the spiritual principle which is called the soul.
那么呢，在就是我们的经典里面教导我们呢，在我们躯体之内呢，实际上是有灵魂的。
So it is said that we are not a body with a soul, we are a soul with a body.
实际上我们呢不是说有一个灵魂的身体啊，我们不是一个有灵魂的身体，而是呢灵魂拥有一个身体，
It's not that
拥有身体的灵魂。
like the body is like a vehicle.
因为呢，身体是我们的一个工具，
So we are the driver, we are not the car.
我们不是那个车啊，而是那个司机。灵魂才是主要的占主位的。
With a car you can drive somewhere.
那么如果你驾了一部车呢，你可以去到某处。
So the soul is that will or free will and consciousness that is directing our material body.
那灵魂呢，就是呢主宰我们的物质身体的这么一个意志或者知觉体它是更主要的。
But now the soul is under a certain kind of illusion.
但是呢，我们的灵魂在现在阶段呢是一种幻象状态的。
And that is that the soul has mistaken its true nature and it thinks that actually I am the body.
所以灵魂呢会误认为呢自己就是这具躯体的，
It thinks I am the car.
就觉得我是这部车有的人开车开着就觉得自己是这部车了。
In religious traditions, then they have some idea about the difference between the soul and the body.
在一般的宗教体系里面呢，都会涉及到灵魂跟躯体这两个概念
And this
是有的。
is like the basis of most different religious teachings.
那么在大部分古老的宗教经典里面呢，都涉及到这部分内容的探讨，就关于身体灵魂灵跟肉这个区别了。
We need to start to inquire about the nature of the true self.
所以呢，我们走进这个灵性文化的话呢，必然会去探索这个就是关于灵魂的本性，
And to try to escape illusion.
去呢逃开就是说，或者是说呢，从这个幻象中走出来了。
The gurus give us one story that one man was being chased by a tiger.
那么我们的灵性导师呢，给我们讲了一个故事一个寓言故事了，讲到有一个人呢，在森林里面的时候被老虎追，
He was very afraid and he was running and running and running,
他非常恐惧就是拼命的逃命跑了。
afraid that at any moment the tiger was going to catch him and eat him.
害怕呢，深刻呢，就是说生怕下一刻就会被老虎吃掉了。
And the tiger was catching up because tigers are very fast.
越追越紧了，因为老虎的速度比人要快，对吧？他已经被快追上了。
He was running as fast as he could, but he knew the tiger was going to catch him soon, so he was looking for some way to escape.
所以呢，因为他跑但是呢，他知道老虎的 速度比他快，终有一个课呢会把他给抓的，就是说给逮住了，所以他要找一个地方藏的。
So as he was running, he saw a well
所以呢，在跑的时候呢，他就在四处张望，就看到一口井，
with some branches nearby.
然后呢，有一些树枝伸到井底下了。
And so he quickly ran there and jumped and caught onto the branches.
然后呢，他就快速跳下井然后呢，就是手呢挂着这个树枝
And he was hanging from the branches in this above this well, so the tiger could not catch him.
这样子呢，老虎呢就不能够抓他。Tiger can cross
The branches were like, yeah, this is a question, but it was like rope or something. It was not possible for the tiger to do it. Yeah, good point. So anyhow, the tiger was nearby the well,
但是呢，老虎已经到井口，
waiting, like growling,
就是说也在
trying to
伸爪子就
grab him.
想抓他，
And he was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go down inside the well.
所以他就想要不要下去。
But when he looked inside, below his feet,
但是呢，看到井底是什么情景呢？
he saw like 10 feet down, there were many snakes
有很多蛇在下面，
hissing,
然后它就伸了
right? And they were like going up as if to catch his
蛇也
feet.
想往上面冲就是想要。
And he was just high enough that the snakes could not bite him.
然后呢，它刚好的高度呢是那个蛇就是说没有够得着它的地方了。
Yeah, it's actually, our Gurudev said it was like thin branches. And as he was hanging there, he saw some rats come.
那么他抓这个树枝呢，不是很粗
Two rats, a black rat and a white
而
rat.
且呢还有两只老鼠来咬，一个白老鼠，一个黑老鼠。
And they started chewing the branch.
那么开始呢就
From both sides.
从两边咬这个树枝。
They were chewing the left branch and the right branch on both sides. He was holding on to this one branch and it was going to be cut through and he would fall.
也就是说呢，这个树枝两边都会有老鼠咬了这样子它很快就会掉下去的。
So now it was like death was looking him in the face.
所以这意味着死亡正在盯上他。
He was just thinking, how long do I have? Should I jump out and be eaten by the tiger? Should I fall down and be bitten by the snakes and
所以
die?
他想自己还有多少时间呢？是跳出井外呢被老虎吃了，还是跳到井里面被蛇咬死？
So as he was in this dangerous situation,
所以在这种进退两难的危险
he
状态，
noticed that from the tree above him, something was dropping in front of his face.
树上面呢有一些东西滴下来，
And he looked up and he saw a honey net,
是一个蜂巢
honeycomb,
有些蜂蜜滴下来，
honeycomb, and honey was dripping from it right in front of his
滴
face.
下来直接在他
So he
鼻子前面滴下来，
he stuck his tongue out
他就把舌头伸出去了
to taste the honey.
想接几滴蜜
It's working. He stuck his tongue out to taste the honey,
所以他把舌头伸出来接那几滴蜜，
and he got one drop,
然后终于接到一滴了，
and he felt, oh, now I'm happy.
觉得自己很快乐，
He felt happiness.
所以就感觉到快乐了，
And for just a little moment,
就是这么一瞬间的快乐，
he forgot the danger he was in.
忘记了自己的危险处境了。
So our gurus tell us
所以我们的灵
this
性
story represents our life.
这个故事寓言故事代表我们的生命，生命图景这是
The
我们的
tiger
生活
represents death coming to devour
实际上呢
us.
这个老虎代表死亡，死亡在
It's always behind us.
总在后面追每个
And as we get older, death gets
越
closer,
老的时候呢，意味着老虎就越能赶上你了。
right? As you get older, death is getting closer.
因为呢，当越老的时候呢，死亡就意味着越近，
There's no guarantee when it's going to catch you.
而且你不能够说不准什么时候就会。
Yeah, when you're being chased by the tiger, you don't know when the tiger is going to catch
因为
you.
你被老虎追的时候，你不知道哪一刻被它抓住，是吧？随时的，
Could be very soon.
有可能很快有的，
The tiger could pounce and grab you, or it could be after some more years.
或者有可能还有几年命。
So the well is where we're trying to hide.
所以那口井呢，就是我们要藏
An
的一
escape
个
from-
庇护所，所谓的避
We're
风
trying to escape from death
我们想逃脱死亡了。
and go inside the well. But what is at the bottom of the well?
但井里面有什么处境啊？
Many snakes.
很多蛇在里面。
The snakes represent all the different problems that come into us in
蛇
life.
代表呢生命中、人生中的麻烦，
All the different
一些
problems.
烦恼的问题。
We're trying to live happily, and then suddenly some problem comes that causes us too much pain.
因为呢，我们都想很快乐的生活，但是呢，经常有些烦恼的事儿让你突然间觉得，
These are like snakes.
这些就像蛇一样。
The two rats,
那两只老鼠，
one is nighttime black rat, and one is daytime white rat.
白老鼠一只黑老鼠，一个代表白
And
天。
they're chewing the branches, meaning the branch that we're holding on to is like how much time we have left.
那么这个树枝代表你的寿命，你有多少时间呢？ 这个时间流逝的话呢，
But in the
你
in the middle of
会
this
咬啊。
in the middle of this situation, some drops of honey come,
但是同时呢，有几滴蜜下
and we taste this and we think, oh, at least I have some
我
a
品
little
尝
bit
了蜜
happy.
之后呢，就忘记
We
了
feel a little bit of happiness.
就是说感觉到有点快乐后，忘记了这个危险。
So this story comes in the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj actually.
这个故事呢是在我们的一部经典叫《圣典不教法堂》里面Prada Maharaj 的教导。
It is said Prahlad Maharaj, he was a prince who was the son of the king of the universe actually.
那么当时呢，这个 Prada Maharaj 呢被称为宇宙之王他的王子。
But this king was like a demon. He was a very
那
powerful
这个王
demon.
呢是一个魔王。
His name was Hiranyakashipu.
黑暗卡西布。
But Prahlad gave these instructions to his friends who are in school with him.
但是呢，当时呢，Prada 呢这个王子呢把这个教导呢给了他的同学在学校里面的学生同学们呢。
And he said, we should not waste our time
那
being only like trapped in looking for those drops of honey.
所以呢，他说不要浪费时间呢
Waiting for the drops of honey.
几滴蜜就说给吸引住了，然后呢就忘记了。
We should try to figure out how to escape the situation in a way that we can be freed of the dangerous
也
situation.
就是说呢，你能够脱出这个危险就是说逃脱出这个危险，这才是我们当务之急啊。
If we go in the well, we'll be bitten and killed by the
如果你
snakes.
下井的话呢，
If we go out,
会被咬死
If we go out, the tiger will also eat us.
老虎被老虎吃掉啊。
So there has to be some method to transcend the situation.
所以呢，你必须就是说超越这一个处境一个困境了。
That's the question. Then how can we transcend this situation? Or we have to get some kind of powerful tool or weapon by which we can defeat the tiger.
也就是说呢，要么你得到一个工具很有力量的工具，能够杀掉这个老虎。
But if we're just waiting for another drop of honey,
如
then
果你的
our time will run out.
只是呢等那几滴蜜的话，你的时间就到了就会就是说时间会耗完了，你会必死无疑的。
The well represents what you would call complacency in family life.
所以呢，这个井代表什么？井代表我们在物质生活中的一种呢自满。
We become complacent.
我们会觉得自满。
You understand this complacence, right?
满足于现状。
We become complacent and think, okay, no problem. We try to forget about impending death.
实际上呢忘记死亡即将到来的死
And
亡。
we don't think, how can I make my life truly
然后
successful?
呢，没有去再着力于思考这问题，怎么样我的生命成功超越这种
But
困境。
We see this in the past, in the teachings of Buddha, in the life
所以
of
在佛
Buddha.
教里面呢，也有这些类似的教
When
导。
Buddha was a young man, his father tried to keep him away from any vision of an old person or someone who is sick or dying or
那么
death.
佛陀呢有一个典故就是说他小的时候呢，他父亲就是让他不看到那些人间的惨剧。
And he surrounded him with beautiful women,
是用那些美女
and they were always
来
playing and
保护
enjoying
他们怎么享受
dancing and
跳舞
enjoying.
就是不让他看
And
到老弱病
When he went out into the city, the king would arrange that all the old people, the sick people, any dead people would be hidden.
所以呢，当他出这个城门的时候呢，他的父亲就安排那些老弱病残的人赶快出城不让这个王子看到这个残败的相。
But one time by chance, he saw a person who was very old and sick and diseased.
他偶尔间见到一个老头
And he asked, what is this?
重病
And he began to inquire. One time he saw a person who was dead and being carried
然后
away.
有次看到一个死人被抬走了，这个
So he started to think.
所以呢，他就在问
He started to think, what is this? There is some kind of illusion that has been, they're trying to trick me.
他说呢，他就觉得呢，他肯定是被
Right?
骗了。
Now I'm happy and young, but this can also happen to me.
也就是说，我这么年轻，很快乐。
Now I'm enjoying,
但是呢，这个情况也会发生在我身上病死老死
but when I become ill, I will suffer or I may die, then what will happen?
那么如果有病的话，我会受苦了，对吧？或者死了，怎么办？
So when this inquisitiveness came to him and this question, what should I
当
do?
他看到这个情景的时候呢，他就进行一个询问的。
Then he left
怎么办？
and he started to meditate.
他就开始呢离开这个。
We hear he sat underneath a tree called the Bodhi tree
在一个菩提树下
and he meditated for many, many years.
冥想了很多年呢。
And finally he became
后来
self-realized.
他就开悟了觉悟了。
So therefore Prahlad Maharaj also, when his father asked Prahlad, his son, what is the greatest thing you have learned?
所以呢，另外一个这个普拉的王子就是说呢，他的父亲问他了，你在学校里面学最好的功课是什么？
Prahlad was a young boy, like 6, 7. He had just started going to school.
6、 6、7岁刚刚
He
上
was
学
like 5 or 6. When a child gets to like 5 years old, they send them to
到5
school.
岁孩子就就学嘛啊。
So when he came back from school, his father picked him in his lap,
学校回
and
来呢，
he
父
had
亲
so
就抱
much
着
love for him, he was weeping and sniffing his head with like love of a father.
就是说像父亲表达他的爱意一样就抱着他呀，嗅他的头发就是
Yeah.
来抚摸。
And then he asked his son, "Oh, you've come back from school? What was the best thing you learned?
他说：“孩子，你从学校刚回来你学到的最好的东西是什么？”
What was the best thing you learned in school?
就是说你最好的功课就是哪一些了，领悟到哪一些功课了。
You can use the other speaker, maybe the bigger speaker.
No, give to knowledge. They took it.
Okay. It's working.
I don't maybe no work. Okay.
So then Prahlad Maharaj answered,
所以普拉德玛举呢回答他的父亲。
Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudigna idiyam asatkrahat idvatma patam griham andakupam vanam gatoyad harim ashrayata. He said this verse,
他呢向他父
and it
亲
means
讲了这个诗节了。
the greatest thing I have learned,
我学的最了不起的功课是
O king of the demons,
魔王啊，他称父亲为魔王。
sada samudigna diyam asatkrahat. You are always trying to acquire and capture and collect those things which are temporary.
你总是想去占有和呢就是说截取一些
This is called asadgrahat.
这叫阿萨格哈。
You're collecting these things which are temporary.
囤积的东西都是短暂的。
And because of association with these things, you're also stuck in this cycle of birth and death.
因为你跟这些短暂之物连接了联谊所以你就卡在这个生死轮回之中了。
And you think, I want to live eternally.
而你还幻想呢，你能够永
But
恒活。
ultimately, you will have to die.
但最后呢，你要死的。
You're griham andakupam. He told his father, you're stuck in the blind well, andakupam, of family life.
他说你陷在了这个家庭生活的暗井里面。
We are always trying to enjoy.
因为我们想在家庭里面享受舒适在舒适区里面享受了。
What you should do is the best kind of education is vanam gatoyad harim ashrayata. You should give this up and you should take shelter of God, Lord
但是
Hari.
呢，最高的教育是什么？就是教导我们要放弃这一切。
Take shelter of Him
自尊主
by doing like what Buddha did.
就像
Vanam
佛
gato.
所做
You
的
should practice this kind of worship and meditation and
就是说呢
smadhan.
去冥想就是说去
Chant What is the process he gave? The process is chanting these mantras.
那么他给的程序呢叫唱诵 mantra。
By chanting these mantras, we can awaken our divine consciousness.
因为呢，唱诵 mantra 的话呢，可以唤醒我们的神圣知觉、灵性知
And
觉。
we can become free of the illusion that I am this body.
然后免于呢这种幻象，就认为我是这个身体这种幻象。
We can realize that the soul's nature is transcendental.
然后呢，觉悟呢灵魂的本性实际上是超然的。
And therefore, the proper life is the transcendental life.
所以呢，真正的生命的话呢，是超然的生活了。
And how do we live the transcendental
那么
life?
怎么去活一种超然的生活呢？
To live the transcendental life, we must transcend the material life.
那么必须超越这个物质层面的。
We can do that at home or in the temple.
在家里面也可以这样做在呢就是说庙里面也可以
There is
这样
no restriction that we have to live in the temple, we have to leave home.
不是说每个人要离开家或者在这个庙里面才能行。
But if we're at home, then we still have to live the transcendental life.
有在家里面生活的人也要过一种超然的生活。
We can do that by a simple practice of chanting these mantras.
那么通过呢简单的程序叫唱诵 mantra
And then we can learn how to purify our life.
然后呢净化我们的物质生活。
Because if we want to transcend material life,
因为你想超越它
first we need to purify our existence.
那么首先要净化
So there are different techniques for that,
所以呢净化这个过程清理和净化呢是有不同的
like
程序的。
eating pure foods
比如说吃的东西要干净
that are offered to God,
要这个食物要供奉给神的
refraining from taking different types of intoxications and alcohol.
不要吃喝酒抽烟就这种麻
Because
醉神经的
These make our consciousness more
因
low.
为麻醉品的话令你的知觉下降
We want to uplift our consciousness.
因为我们提升知觉嘛麻醉品会让你迟钝的
So
酒类等等
there's different processes, like we heard. We can chant these mantras,
那么有不同的程序可以
and also we
去
can
唱诵 mantra
follow sadhu sangha.
还有呢你去经常跟圣人
Sadhu
去
sangha is
接触
very important.
这很重要
It is said there's many different processes you can follow. Prahlad Maharaj told his father, you can follow 9 processes of worship.
那么他对父亲 讲了9个程序
that are especially recommended.
被特别推荐的。
Maybe you can just use this mic.
给那麦克风留下。
You can turn this mic on for her. And turn the mic on. Prahlad told that there are 9 special processes.
所以 Prada 说呢，有9种程序可以遵
You
守。
should hear about the Supreme Lord and your relation with Him. Shravanam.
可以去呢聆听就关于
Yeah,
基
you
督
can
徒
turn
的
it down a
信息
little bit. Shravanam. Then you should chant to Kirtanam.
或者是呢唱诵。
Smaranam. You should remember.
第3呢是 Smaranam 就是冥想。
What should you think of? Naam, Rup, Gun, and Leela. This is the Lord's names, the Lord's qualities, His pastimes, His activities.
那么呢冥想什么内容呢？冥想主的圣名他的形象他的逍遥时光，还有他的品质。
Yeah, so Naam, Rup, Gun, and Leela. So there are many processes like that. But the main thing is, Rup Goswami then gave 5 processes. He said you should do Naam Kirtan.
那么呢，我们的另外一位圣人呢给出了
This is like what we are doing, chanting the Mahamantra.
一个是 Nam Kirtan 唱诵
Chanting the Mahamantra, because this mantra, in every different age, there's a mantra that helps you free your mind from illusion
因为每个年代的话呢都给出了相应的 mantra
and realize your true self, your true nature.
你去唱诵的话呢可以觉悟你的
So the mantra for this age is called the Mahamantra.
那么我们这个年代的 mantra 就称为 Maha
And
mantra
we've been chanting this mantra. We can chant it together, okay, everybody? Let's chant it together, everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you chant this mantra again and again, it starts to clear away all sorts of illusion.
一再的唱诵这个 mantra 的时候呢可以把我们的
Then
模糊的视野
Eventually you'll be able to see who I truly am.
这个是灵性视野那么
What is my real nature?
真我了
What is my relationship with the Absolute?
还有呢我跟这个绝对真理有什么关系对吧
This relationship is a relationship of love.
这个关系实际上是一种爱的关系
In the story of the man being chased by the tiger,
那么这个人呢被老虎追这个故事呢
the man is being chased, but he's also running towards something.
那么这个人被追的时候他是走向一个对象他找一个庇护
What is he running towards?
那么他走向谁呢
He's running towards finding happiness.
实际上是走向一个快乐的对象
And-
给他快乐的地方
He wants happiness, and what is the best form of happiness? Love. He's looking for
最
love.
大的快乐实际上是什么是爱
He's looking for love.
所以他在寻找爱实际上找
But the
快乐
problem is that the love he finds is also temporary
当然了他的问题是什么呢他
because he has not
短暂
realized himself in truth.
因为他没觉悟自我嘛他只能抓到一些
And so he is
短暂爱
making relationships with those who have also not realized their true nature.
所以呢我们跟一些人呢如果他本身也没有觉悟没有开悟的话呢你跟他建立关系建立爱的关系那么是非常短暂的东西的
So because it's based on illusion, then it's temporary.
所以呢因为这些关系是基于幻象的所以呢它是非常的就是说短暂的一时的
He's looking for love, but he's looking in a mirage, in a desert. I'll give you the example. In a desert, when you're very thirsty, you may see some water.
所以呢当一个口渴的人在沙漠里面行走的时候他有时候看到海市蜃楼现象
But this is a special kind of reflection or
但是呢这海市蜃楼
illusion.
是一种幻象
It's not actually there, and you run and try to grasp it and find it, and it may be this cactus, you know,
你可能会就是说
with many thorns.
可能是刺荆棘还有一些其他的就沙地而已就没有水了
So we're looking for love. That means the soul's nature is that it wants love and happiness and friendship.
找爱没有问题就是说呢灵魂本性上是寻找爱的
And this is our true destiny, our true wealth.
这是我们真正的财富了我们的命运或者说就是要去寻找
If we try to get rid of this, it's becoming void. It's alien to our soul. It's not
如果呢
possible.
你把爱剥离掉的话呢你变成空这对我们灵魂来说是非常陌生的
We have to find love.
我们必须要寻找爱
Otherwise, we are not happy to live. We're not ready to live.
生活是非常不幸的
If you put a person alone
如果
and
一
you
个
give
人
them
你关起来
nice things to eat and a nice room to live in, but they have no family and no friends and no one to love, then they won't be happy.
没有家人没有亲友
People want relationship.
人们想要关系的
People want love.
就是说想要爱的
So the question now is, this is part of the nature of our soul.
所以这就是灵魂的一部分
But how can we find true love
但是呢主要问题是怎么找到真爱
and true happiness?
就是真正的快乐
And that is in our spiritual relationship our spiritual relationship with our spiritual family.
那么这就是我们的这个灵性关系里面的
We have that-
家庭建立关系的，
But that's in a transcendental place.
这是在超然层面的。
And that is with the personality who is known as Krishna.
所以呢，就是跟 Krishna 建立关系，
Krishna is our name for God.
超然的关系。
But Krishna is actually beyond God.
我们说 Krishna 是神，但实际上他超越于神的概念。
Because generally people think of God as someone who is operating, overseeing, creating this world.
一般人们认为神是创
But
造者，
Krishna is separate from that. Krishna,
是维系者毁灭者。
Krishna gives this responsibility to other people who are like his incarnations.
但是呢，Krishna 实际上超越这个神的概念的。他
Krishna is living in his own world called Braj.
他生活在 Braj 这个地方，Vrindavan 这个地方。
And our soul has that potency as a seed form that we can go there and have relationship with him.
那么我们可以跟他就是说在我们的灵魂呢具有这种潜能。
And that relationship is one of love and affection, which can give the topmost happiness and satisfaction.
要给我们给予满足的。你跟 Krishna 发展的爱的关系，就给你巨大的满足。
If we have that potency in our soul, then that is our destiny.
所以呢，这里面呢具备的潜能，意味着我们的使命就是往这个方向。你有这个爱的跟
But if we didn't have that potency in our soul, then we would not be here.
如果我们没有这种潜能的话，我们不会在这里的。
We would not be here. We would be because different souls can have different ultimate destinations.
如果不同灵魂有不同的归宿了。
Just like there are different faiths, different religions, there are different transcendental worlds where the soul can be in a relationship with different forms or features of God.
也就是说呢，灵魂呢可以跟神的不同形象建立关系去到不同世界。那么根据每个人的内在的潜能不一样。
But relationship with Krishna is the topmost possible achievement for the soul.
但是呢，个体灵魂呢，如果跟 Krishna 建立关系的话，便是最高的成就了。
And that relationship gives complete happiness and
那
satisfaction.
么这个可以给他完全的满足和快乐。
But also Krishna is not alone.
当然，Krishna 不是一个人的，
Krishna has his own family
他
also,
有他的这个
his own friends, his own beloveds.
他心爱的人。
Krishna's dear most beloved is Srimati Radharani.
那么 Krishna 最爱的人是 Srimati Radharani。
It's described that Radha Krishna are inseparable,
那么两者呢是不可分的，
like one principle.
就是一个原则了。
But for the sake of loving exchanges, they have appeared in two
但
forms.
是因为爱的交流呢，它呈现为双体两
So Radha and Krishna is like the male and female form of God.
所以呢，它被称为神的两面一个是阴性的一面，一个是阳性的一面
And they are in a loving relationship
所以
always.
呢，两者在爱的关系之中。
And we can be related with them as their own loving, like you would say, devotee.
那么我们可以成为他们的一位奉献者。
But in Braj also, we are worshipping, there are different kinds of worship. Some people worship Radha Krishna like they are devotees in service.
那么有的人崇拜呢，是用仆人的心态崇拜。
But our mood is actually not like that.
但我们呢，这个就传承的话呢，不是这种心
Our goal is that we will be with them in a friendship and love where we don't even know they are God.
那么我们要的关系是呢，我们跟神建立这么有爱的关系甚至忘记他是神。
Our relation with them will be like they're Krishna's father or mother.
就像呢，Krishna 的父母亲对他一样，
And they never think Krishna is God.
他们不会觉得 Krishna 是神，
He's just their son.
就觉得这是我的儿子，
Or Radha's mother and father never think she is the goddess.
或者是呢Radha 呢Radha 的父母亲也不觉得他
She
是
is
你的
just their very dear, darling daughter.
只觉得是我的女儿。
And they have so much love for her, naturally they are serving her with love,
因为呢，爱的话呢，所以他
like you would serve your son or daughter.
像你们服务你的儿女一样。
You can also have relationship. This is part of the nature of your soul.
所以呢，这称为灵魂的一个
You
潜
may
能。
have relationship like a very close friend,
你可以跟神建立这么亲密的关系，就像亲密的朋友，
like Krishna's best friend.
像最有爱的、最爱护他的。
And you don't think he is God. When you will fight with Krishna and wrestle like boys like to fight.
摔跤比赛或者
And
是
you will
打架
defeat him also.
甚至击败他，
And then you will make him carry you on his shoulders.
甚至你会让他背着你，
And he will carry you and play games with you.
他也会背着你去玩。
Or you can have relationship in like his beloved.
或者是你可以跟神建立一种的像爱侣的关系。
And in our Gaudiya line, our aspiration, our desire is that we will be the maidservants of Srimati Radhika.
因为我们这个传系的话呢，是就是说是接续的是爱侣情怀的
That means we have love for
作为
Krishna.
高贵的女仆这个身份来爱 Krishna，
We have love for Krishna in the mood of Madhurya.
是 Madhurya 的心绪甜蜜的情感。
Madhurya mood means that as a lover and beloved.
Madhurya 甜蜜的情感意味着一种情侣之爱。
Like we have loving relationships with a partner in this world.
跟自己的丈夫就是说
But
就是妻子之间这种关系。
the specialty of our line is that our love with Krishna is coming through Krishna's beloved Srimati Radhika.
所以我们这个传系的话呢，你爱 Krishna 的话呢，是通过 Radharani。
Radharani is described to be like a creeper,
Radharani 就像一个藤一样树。
and Krishna is a tamal tree,
Krishna 是一棵树，
and Radharani is wrapped around the tree.
那绕着这个树，对吧？
And the Sakis and Manjaris, who are dear close friends, they are like flowers on the tree, on the creeper.
就像那个树藤上的叶子。
Krishna is the tree, and Radharani is the creeper. And we can become like the
我
flowers.
们就像里面的花，小花。
This means our love for Krishna is experienced through Srimati
所
Radhika.
以呢，我们花这样是花呢，藤上的花，你是要靠这个。
As a maidservant, when she is meeting with Krishna,
当那 Radha
the happiness she feels will be experienced by us.
那么Radharani 体验的快乐呢，可以被我们体验到了。
And this is called Tatat Bhavichamai.
所以呢，这就叫呢跟他一条心了。
So this is giving you a slight, like a
我
glimpse
只是给你简单的讲一点点，
of different possible attainments.
就是说一个灵魂它的成就。
There are many possible attainments or many paths you can follow.
物质成就嘛，但灵魂也有它的成就啊。那么这是最高的一种成就。
There are many paths you can follow.
建立一种呢情侣关系的但是是通过Radharani因为它是那根藤啊
These paths
上
can
面的花了小花。
take you in different places, different directions. But this is our path.
这就是我们走的路径，我们这个
And this path is-
多条传系的路径了。
This is the path that is established in all our Vedic literature.
这是伟达传系伟达经里面确立的一个路径之一了，
This is like the secret of all different religions.
是不同宗教的最机密的部分。
The spiritual life of the soul in its transcendental spiritual form.
也就是说呢，灵魂的这个生命就是灵魂的人生吧在它的灵性层面的生活是这样子的。
This human form of life is very rare.
因为获得人的身体是非常稀有的，人生难得。
In our Vedic teachings, it said that there are 8,400,000 species of life.
因为伟达经里面讲到呢，物种呢有840万种，
84 lakh yoni. So of those, there are different species which are human.
那么呢有人类里面也有不同种类。
So there are different, basically humanoid species. And in human life, of those people who are human, not so many have higher
但
consciousness
是呢，
also.
在人类之中也有很多
Or
自
the
并不高。
nature of trying to find the true nature of
也就是
existence.
说，这些人虽然身为人，但是他并没有寻找更高
So,
的理想。
but it said that the human form of life is very rare. Labdva sudurlabhamidam.
但经典讲到了，无论怎样子呢，得到一个人的身体都是非常稀有的。
And it says that the soul goes through all these species of life as if in a dream.
灵魂呢经历这些物种轮回就像一场梦一样。
Sometimes we are a king.
有时候呢做国王
Sometimes we are a beggar.
有时候做乞丐
Sometimes we are a cat. Sometimes we are a dog.
有时候是一只狗。
This is called transmigration of the
这
soul.
就叫灵魂的轮回转生投生轮回。
In Vedic teachings, this is known as reincarnation.
这个伟达里面叫轮回嘛，因果
And
轮回
we reincarnate in different animal species when we have to take the results of our karma.
当我们做了造恶业的时候，实际上我们要承受这个业果的话呢，要投生为像动物这样
Basically,
的投生
there are many topics. We can't cover everything in one sitting.
那么呢，这些命题很多很宽泛的。
So I'm trying to give an overview.
我只是大概提到一些主要的观点。
So,
You
As
ask whether they believe in reincarnation. Maybe they don't believe.
does anybody know in reincarnation?
大家知道轮回这个概念吗？
Something.
转生投生对，转世投生的。
So it said, anyhow, as animals, we don't have the higher knowledge that we do as humans.
如果投生为动物的话呢，知觉是不高的，
We don't have this higher
智
intelligence.
慧不高
So it said, therefore, the human form of life is very special
所以人类的生命为什么这么
because
特别？
it opens the doorway to liberation.
它被称为是打开了解脱之门的这么一个。
We can follow the path of Buddha. We can follow the path of the saints.
追随圣哲之路
And we can achieve self-knowledge, realization,
去达到觉悟了
and our true purpose.
获得你的人生的意义。
But now we are like lost in a dream.
但是现在我们是大部分是处于梦
It is
境
said,
状态。
the soul is the witness.
灵魂虽然说它是一个见证者，
As we are living in many different existences, in many bodies,
也就是说我们在不同的身体生活过
the，soul is witnessing.
灵魂也在察 觉
Like when you are having a dream,
就像你做梦一样，你有时
you
候
are seeing many things happen. You think this is the self.
这个梦里面
When you
发生
wake
的
up,
事情，
you realize it was just a dream.
然后呢醒过来的时候你也
I was not the character in the dream.
原来我这是场梦我不是那个人。
So the life we're experiencing now, until we come to true self-knowledge, this is also like a dream.
所以当我们觉悟自我的时候，我们也会
It
发现
means
呢
it is
现实
not-
生活就像一场梦一样。
It is dreams can also be real, meaning the dream you are experiencing. You're experiencing the dream.
当你体验梦的时候，也觉得很真
In
实，
that sense, the dream is real.
对吧？那个程度来说呢，梦是真的，
You aren't experiencing a dream.
因为你体验它嘛，对吧？
In that sense, the dream is real.
那么从这个角度来说呢，
But when you wake up from the dream,
但是从梦中醒过来之后呢，
oh, the dream was just a figment of my imagination.
梦就变成一种想象了，好像是一种过了下脑一些东西，
So-
印象。
In the soul state of dreaming, we think I am a cat, I am a dog, I am a rat, I am a king, I am a beggar.
也是一样在类似于
I am American, I am Russian, I am Chinese.
也是一个梦想因为我们觉得
Our gurus tell us this is
我是美国人我是猫是狗
this is our illusory identity.
这是一种幻象的身份感。
So first of all, we should try to find out who I truly am.
所以呢，第一步先找到我是谁。
And when this question comes, then we are ready to start the spiritual journey.
那么从这一个点上呢，就开始你们的灵性之旅了。
It said we're always attracted and attached to all these different, like, I'll give you a little side topic example, okay? We have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We see people nowadays, what is the state of people nowadays?
那么现在人类社会的生活是什么状况？
Most people are attached and interested in some kind of adventure,
那么有的人喜欢探险，
especially like young people.
像年轻人喜欢探险，
They're watching movies.
那么看电影
What is happening in a movie?
电影里面
Some kind of adventure,
有某种就是说探索，
some interesting
有一
experience,
些有趣的经验被
or reading books, reading
或者
books.
是读一些小说里面呢探索一些人类的经验、体验、
And
情感的体
in
验。
a book, there's something exciting is happening.
有些书里面呢有一些激动人心
Or
的故事，
Playing games.
或者打游戏机有人
Now on their phones, everyone is playing games. Why? We want something exciting to happen,
因为
something
我们想要一些激
fun.
动人心的事情发生。
It's because we are not fulfilled with our own life.
这是因为我们的现实生活并不满足
So we are looking for fulfillment and excitement in these external illusions.
所以呢想呢在外在的幻象世界的这个对象身上找一点激动。
And we think I am the character. Like when you're watching a movie, you cannot enjoy the movie unless you can put yourself in the shoes of the character.
据说呢，当你看一个电影的时候呢，你必须把自己放在主角的位置，才能够体验
Or with a game.
感受这个电影否则你是跟这电影是有距离的就没感觉。
So we always want to experience adventure and
所以我们
excitement
是想体验里面这个
because we're not fulfilled, we're not happy, we're not satisfied. If we are
因
living,
为我们不满足了。
if we are living with complete happiness like the characters in the book or the movie, then we would not always be watching these
如
things.
果我们是完全满足状态，我们不会去看电影，也不会看小说。
When you watch like an exciting adventure or like, a superhero movie,
学一些超自然的，就是英雄人物
the superheroes aren't spending all their time reading books and playing games and watching movies.
那么那个英雄人物不
They're happy in their-
拿他的时间
yeah.
来看书打游戏机的。
They're fully
他的
engaged.
生活已经充满了跌宕起伏的一些高潮所以他已经完全投入
So
其中。
people we see all around the world, they are bored with their
所
life.
以呢，很多人为什么他去看这些东西电影电视剧或者是小说，是因为他们的生活很无聊
It's because they're not living life to its full
因
possibility.
为他们的生活没有把全部
They're not living life to its full potential.
没有把自己的这个潜能
So our mission is to help people live life to their full potential.
所以呢，灵性生命的探索的话呢，实际上就是让你把你的潜能
And then we can take help
出
from
来。
stories and books and teachings that help us also live to our full
而
potential.
我们这时候托庇的经典呢，是能够帮助我们把这些灵性潜能发挥出来的。
We are also telling different teachings and
那
stories,
么经典当然也涉及到故事也涉及到一
but
些
those stories are helpful for
但
us.
那些故事呢是帮助我们的。
So we should give our time for learning those kinds of books and stories and teachings which help us live also to our full spiritual potential.
这些书籍呢就是经典呢，是帮助我们能够把灵性潜能活出来的。
That's why we're reading these
所
scriptures.
以我们我们也学习经典也看书了
That's why we're hearing from the saintly people.
也去聆听圣人讲。
Because our faculty of human knowledge or reasoning should be engaged in a pursuit of something worthy of our position of being
因为
these human
人类有
beings,
求知的欲望他必须投入某种追求
of higher knowledge.
能够呢追求更高的知识，对我们来说是更好的。 就是对于这个求知欲来说呢，
So-
是大的满足啊。
So we're attached, we see people are so attached to stories, whether
为什么很多人那么依恋故事啊？
material stories or spiritual stories.
无论是灵性还是物质的故事，
Everyone likes stories.
每个人都喜欢听故事，
This is because this is called like lila, pastime.
因为这个呢，灵性上来说叫 lila 逍遥时光。
And the soul's nature is that it also experiences some kind of activity or lila.
我呢想体验这东西，
Pastime.
那种活跃感故事里面。
So when we are very bored and dull at home, then we're not experiencing lila, then we look for some mundane lila.
所以呢，我们在家里面如果过得很无聊的生活的话呢，没有什么逍遥时光出现的话，我们就要寻找外面的。
So we want to enter Krishna lila.
但是我们现在的灵修之后呢，我们想进入 Krishna 逍遥时光。
In Krishna lila, we're always happy and having fun.
那么在 Krishna 的活动里面，逍遥时光里面，故事里面呢
But also excitement, adventure,
也有呢激
you
动
know,
人心的东西，
mystery, romance, everything.
也有罗曼蒂克的东西，也有呢，
In Krishna lila, everything is present.
就是说里面什么都有了。
Braja lila. So we're trying to go into those lilas.
所以呢，我们的灵性生活就是要进入这些
And-
起伏跌宕的这
and-
个逍遥时光里面。
And our gurus have given a process how do we can enter those lilas.
不如呢给我们这个程序怎么进去的。
But the secret weapon or the secret tool or the secret talisman
但是呢，这个秘密武器是什么？
is our mantras
就是用这个 mantra，
and our beads that we chant on.
我们用念珠
These are like a
念
talisman.
这就像一个
Because talisman means like some special kind of magical, not magical, but a special kind of thing that supercharges your, your mantra, your
就是
experience.
说呢是给你呢就注入特别能量的像魔术。
So by chanting these mantras with sadhu sangha, we can enter into these lilas
所以
also.
呢，我们通过念诵 Hare Krishna mantra 的话呢，最终进入神的
First
逍
we,
遥时光里面。
first we enter these lilas by our mind,
首先是通过你这里心念进入，
by purified intelligence.
通过进化的这个智慧进入，
And by meditating on these throughout our life,
通过一辈子去做这个冥想。
at the time of death, we will enter those
那
pastimes.
么在死亡之时呢，你就靠近这些逍遥时光。
Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yang yang vapi smaram bhava tejat tante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kunteya saratad bhava bhavita, which means whatever you meditate upon at the time of death, you will get a body according to that kind of attention or
所
focus.
以 Krishna 说，你死亡之时，你心思什么，你就会到达那个境界，就是获得一个呢那个相应的身体。
So therefore Krishna appeared in this world to reveal his sweet
所
pastimes.
以 Krishna 为什么显现在这个人世间呢？上演展现他的逍遥时光，这些美妙的活动
He。said, Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astritam. By my mercy for my devotees, I appeared in human form and performed very sweet yadrisi tadrisha krida, very sweet, playful pastimes to attract people.
所以呢，Krishna 说呢，因为出于对我的奉献者的仁慈我呈现为人形形象，上演诸多美妙的活动，那么呢，吸引这些人了，吸引所有人了。
Yeah, so Krishna appeared on earth 5,000 years ago and he showed such sweet pastimes.
所以 Krishna 是就显现在这里的。
He gave us a hint about what he is always doing in his own world.
那么他呢，也上演种种活动也给我们提示他在灵性层面是怎样的生活。
Certain pastimes of Krishna are mostly only in his world, and certain pastimes are also in this world.
有的活动的话呢，只在这个世界上演的；有的活动是只在灵性层面上演的。
We focus more on the pastimes he is always doing in that world.
那么我们更专注于呢那些他在灵性层面的活动。
Like Krishna sometimes have to kill demons,
那么在物质层面，他有时候杀恶魔。
and he is in the Mahabharata speaking Bhagavad Gita. But some of these pastimes are in relation to more this world.
那么这是跟这个世界有关系的。
But we want to meditate on those pastimes he's always doing in his transcendental world.
但是呢，我们更想冥想的是他跟就是说在灵性层面的活动，
And these are truthful.
而这是真切的，
These are real.
就是
Because it's said Krishna's nature is that he is pure truth.
Krishna 被称为呢纯粹真理，
Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. He is always established in truth.
他总是在真理之中，
These pastimes are the real truth.
所以他的活动实际上也是真
And
实
we
的，
can also participate in these
我们可以参与的。
if we purify ourselves through this process.
通过灵性程序的话，净化
We
自己
then we can. The soul is now like a seed. The soul can sprout into its spiritual form.
也就是说，我们灵魂现在是属于种子状态的，没有发挥出它潜能那么渐渐它可以成长，最后呢，就像一个藤一样，它可以长得很
So therefore, our process is to give up attachment to the illusory life we are in.
所以呢，我们的目标是放下这个幻象的生活。
We're attached to these stories, and our life is also like a story.
我们本身依恋这些 些故事，我们的生活也像一个故事了。
Some people may be always attached to engage in the second layer of stories, which are movies and books.
有的人是沉浸在第二层故事里面。
But our life is also a
就是
story.
我们的电影啊、电视啊是第二层故事，我们的生活本来就是一个故事了。你在沉浸在第二个故事里面。
And some people are more attached to their own life, which is also another kind of story.
那么有的人更沉浸在自己的生活里面，他不那么依恋电视啊、小说，但他沉浸在自己的版本的故事里面。
So whether we are attached to the book or the movie, which is a further layer of illusion, or attached to our life, which is also one kind of misperception.
那么呢，无论你沉浸在电视、电影啊、小说啊，那是幻象的幻象。
We want,
第二层是这个故事生活了。那么呢，还是沉浸在自己的生活里面就是另外层。
our process is one that we can awaken into our true self.
那么我们呢，是要从真我中醒过来。
And then we can live in our true nature.
那么是活出真正的这个灵魂的生活。
Then we can be truly happy.
那时候真正快乐。
That's our process.
这就是我们的整个程序。
Questions?
有没有问题啊？刚才讲了一些，散讲了
Any
一些。
questions?
Some people they really have addictions to something, the how to remove the addiction, like for this.
Yeah.
So much like it's
very difficult.
The modern life. The addiction, you said games, like movies, whatever, some kind of activity.
Drugs, many things.
Yeah. Addiction, so serious problems now.
Also, not only external addictions, but there's addictions of the mind.
Yeah.
The mind gets stuck in different grooves or ruts, and it just cycles around again and again and again. So it's very difficult to get rid of these addictions. But the best way to get rid of the addictions is to develop a higher taste. If you're always thinking about your addictions,
Means that you're not happy with
yeah, it means you're not happy. If you get true happiness, then these things will be given up automatically.
生活的话呢，很大的现代生活就是一个上瘾症的，就是我们对某些东西上瘾。
But the main thing is you have to give up asat sangha.
打游戏机啊，这些上瘾症很厉害的。那么呢，他说主要是因为人们爱，就说没有满足的生活。
These addictions are one kind of asat sangha,
这个瘾症的话呢，实际上也是一个不良联谊的，
bad association.
是非常不良的联谊。
And if we give up bad association and come in good association, automatically in due course we'll give up these addictions.
那么如果你能走向好的联谊的话，好的交往的对象，慢慢会放下这些上瘾的东西了。
Krishna says in the Gita, Vishaya vinivartante nirahara dehi nangraso varjangrasopyasva parang dristva nivartate, that you may give up these lower tastes, which are like one kind of addiction. Everyone is addicted to this life.
每个人都有上瘾症。
You may try to give them up by force, but taste for them remains.
把它拿掉，但是的话呢，又回来了。
Like someone who's always drinking alcohol,
就像有人喝酒那样
they may try to stop,
他也想戒酒，
but still they want to drink.
但他想喝很想喝。
So Krishna says, develop a higher taste,
所以 Krishna 在国家梵歌里面
then the lower taste will automatically be given up.
高等品味，你才能放弃低等品味。
It's described like different kinds of sugar. One kind of sugar is called raw or gur,
像糖呢，
and molasses is sometimes a little bit bitter also. But if you further refine it, it becomes sugar candy.
有的糖呢是除
And if you once taste sugar candy, you lose the taste for the lower form.
慢慢提炼了后呢，就很
It's much, much sweeter. It's described that happiness and love in this world is like a mirage.
那么呢，今年讲到物质世界里面的快乐，实际上是一个幻象、捕风捉影的东西。
And we're always in the expectation of
我
happiness.
们实际上是在期待快乐，
So we're always going forward, trying to find
所以
happiness.
呢，总是往前冲啊。
Like if you want to get a donkey to work,
预期中
then you
的
put
快乐
a stick on its neck and you put a carrot in front of it,
就像呢有一只驴
and it's always working going towards the
往
carrot.
前走呢，你就在头上绑一个棍子，棍子上呢绑一个萝卜，
所以
挂在它前面。那萝卜呢，在它前面呢，它就
So if the donkey gets unlimited carrots, then he doesn't have to run after this carrot anymore. You understand? So if you can find true happiness and love, you'll stop chasing the mirage.
所以呢，当然了，这驴子呢，如果吃饱了啊，就是说吃了其他有千千万万个萝卜吃的话，它不会追那个萝卜了。
We're also, the addictions are trying to find us happiness also, or satisfaction.
我们呢，这种上瘾症呢，就执着某个东西啊，实际上是因为我们没有满足嘛，所以就追着那个萝卜走。
So if we're really happy and satisfied, we'll no longer have these addictions.
那么如果你已经很满足、很快乐了啊，那么有千千万万种快乐方式，那就不会追那根萝卜了。
Okay? Any more questions?
还没有别的问题？没问题。 你不是有问题吗？
就喝酒的问题，他像那个就是有的时候情绪，他这个问题就是一滴酒都不能平时。
He said in our rules we should not take wine
In where?
in our spiritual practice.
It's not described to be favorable.
肯定喝酒是不利的，还有麻醉神经的，
It's not described to be so beneficial.
不
Yeah.
利我们的灵修。
But
So sometimes at holiday, family members giving some kind of this kind of.
depends how much we have started following the process.
主要是看你灵修在什么层面。
Like if we have taken Diksha initiation, we should refrain.
接受地下启迪的话，应该就是说应该。
We should not take.
如果你刚刚起步灵修人的话，你不是说强求他怎么样？
It depends on what level you're at now.
取决你的灵修层面。
Depends on what level you're at now. You should not try to rush too much also,
也不要往前。
if you are not ready.
如果你没准备好。
But generally you should try to take advantage of this time you have now.
当然了，我们尽量善用我们的时间呢，
It said one moment that goes by will not return.
因为呢，一刻钟过去的话，再也不会回来。
Therefore, you should take advantage of this time.
所以呢，为什么要利用善用我们的？
Go Brahmanande, Hari Hari. Oh, thank you so much for coming. We hope to see you again. Hare
感谢
Krishna.
大家到来。
Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. If you come next time for more days, we can discuss more.
以后你们来久一点，可以进一步讨论。
Now we don't have so much time.
现在时间不多。
那个故事最后的结局呢？
He said, "What's the end of the stories?
Which story?
It's chased by the tiger, this man."
Yeah. Yeah, good.
That's personified.
赶快去走该有的方向，是吧？
The body must die,
身体肯定要死亡的，
but the soul never
但
dies.
是灵魂不死。
So if we follow the
如
process,
果你在那个死亡的到来之前追随这个灵性程序的话，
the body has to die.
身体肯定要死的。
We can't take this body to the spiritual
你
world.
不能带着肉身去灵性世界的。
So this man had to die.
这个人肯定要死。
The question is, what did he do before he died?
在死之前你做什么了？
Because the story of the tiger in the well it's our story.
因为那个老虎啊，这个人呢，这个故
It's
事
not another person's story. This is our story.
是我们的故事啊。
Now we're hanging. Now we're hanging. So the end of the story,
我们目前就是处于这种状态。
the end of the story is going to be written by you.
后面的故事是由你们来写的。
You will write the end of the story.
你写后面
You can achieve liberation in this life.
你也可以得解脱这辈子，对吧
You can become bodhisattva.
Bodhisattva，
You can achieve liberation.
可以得解脱，
You can achieve pure love.
也可以
But the body has to die.
但身体总归要。
So it said, what you do before you die, that is
但是呢，在
important.
死之前你做了什么，这个重要
What you do before you die will predict your future
因为这将会
existence.
预言你的未来。
But we should know that the soul is immortal.
你要明白灵魂是永恒的。
So therefore we should try to escape this situation of mortality.